Hello everyone, welcome to FPL Jedi Show. We are still in Gameweek 19. There's still one match to go, but our mind is now looking forward to Gameweek 20. This is Gameweek 20 pod. Is a three-man pod today. My name is Hafiz, and I'll be joining as usual with my two compatriots. First, I would like to welcome Azmin to the show. How are you, brother?
Okay, I think it's good to have this long break between matches, so just so I can catch up with research. I have not had a good start since the post World Cup, so it's time to refresh and brainwash myself to bounce back.
All right, I like the spirit. Okay, but game is coming thick and fast, and for sure we later share. Game week 20 is double game week. I would like to welcome Afos to the show. How's things so far?
Yeah, so far so good. Like as mean game week 19 is a long double game week for Chelsea and Fulham. Still anxious to get the final result.
Yep. Then one match to go will be tomorrow night. Okay, but there's a lot of things happening. The FA Cup, EFL Cup. Okay, and then for sure we share. I think just for my own personal notes for my club, Chelsea just signed loan for João Felix.
So
There's another
Felix.
addition to
Yeah.
Chelsea. Whether he can improve the squad, the performance, and give motivation for Graham Potter to move better, we shall see. So I think let's jump straight to our talking points for Game Week 20. Could be a mouthful one. I have 7 topics here from not so much of topics, yeah, thinking before the day, but we have managed to compile this talking point for today. We definitely run through our team review so far, okay, for Game Week 19. And then we'll touch on the recent double Game Week 20 announcement, okay, of which we already know before offhand. Man City and Spurs already confirmed, but the other team or the other two teams that has confirmed on your right side, okay, the Red Devils will be involved. And then we touch, after we knowing who is going to be playing twice, who the key players to target. Then we'll take a look at the polls so far. How managers are approaching their game week 20? Our panelists will give their thoughts of how we should approach this. We run through the game week 20 fixture plus the single fixture that we played in game week 20. The captain pick, I supposedly we need to run through, although for sure Harlan will be in the first topic or the front line to be the captain, but we touch a bit on that. And then what will be our transfer plan for game week 20? Will there be a lot of hits or we're going to need to be a bit cautious, just take one transfer or two transfer, the free one for this week? We jump straight to your team first, Almin. You scored 37 points so far. The average point, if I'm not mistaken, is 47 points so far.
All right, so it's pretty much a dead end for me. One thing, not having Manchester United, like Rashford, who even though he didn't start, he ended up scoring, and of course, not having any Manchester United defender either. But the biggest problem for me is because I sold Foden for Sterling, who started the match and probably got crocked, and now looks like he's not gonna be around for the second match. Then
That's a
of
tough
course,
one.
then of course the luck that probably hit most of us, which was Mitrovic. So I'm not too fussed about that one. Yeah. But it's another disappointing week. And I dropped 350k. Almiron blanked for once. But all in all, it's a game week to forget really. It's a fake game week even. But on the plus side, I'm mildly happy that my two Newcastle defenders ended up with a clean sheet. So it was something I was thinking might happen, but I didn't expect it to happen really.
That's for sure it happens. Arsenal and Newcastle end up near. So you got those clean sheet. I think you brought in Shah. Is it last week or this week? I think from
the
last
week
week, right?
before.
So you
The week
already
before.
read the rewards from last week, clean sheet, and so this week, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And unfortunately for Guita, he scored 8 points before that, but Palace lost to Spurs 4-0, right? So that's
Something's wrong with Crystal Palace, but we'll talk about it more.
okay. But at least you still technically you have one player left, which is Andreas in this game with 19.
Yeah. It's a game week to
All right.
forget.
Jump to Afos, you scored 50 points so far. So maybe you can walk through your team.
Okay, so for my team, I would say that revolving around pretty much template, but I'm happy that I'll manage to bring in Shaw at the right time to score double digits. I waited for like maybe 1 week. I was supposed to bring week 17 or 18, but I waited for it. But anyway, yeah, pretty happy to have him to have double digits. But the thing that kind of disappointing is from Kevin De Bruyne. I think he created a lot of chances, but did not manage to get any FPL points. And another one is that by bet to play Almiron instead of Gabriel did not turn out well. I was betting that Almiron could manage to score against Arsenal, but they ended up goalless draw. So yeah, that's the main key points that from my team in game week 19.
Okay, good. How about your feeling right now for Cancelo?
Yeah, Cancelo is pretty much the thing that I think most managers need to deal with it, to address this issue, because he did not start since what call after the World Cup, right? Yeah,
Yep.
but and also I think from a mistaken, Pep is experimenting him to play on the wing side. That is why he's rotating much. But yeah, this
Okay.
disappointing. But a lot of people have Cancelo, but so yeah, we'll
Yep.
see how it goes.
Yep.
Game
I,
week
I, I,
20. Yeah,
I can feel the disappointment because I also have Cancelo. To be fair, Man City kept a clean sheet against Chelsea and Cancelo only played 45 minutes. So that's another frustration, to be fair. He starts the game, but he
yeah,
has been start off in the second half. So that's, I feel that's an issue to tackle, but maybe
With
there's a,
Foden, by the way. Foden, if I remember correctly, was subbed off together with Foden at halftime. So,
yeah,
so, so Foden holders, you what it.
well, we'll definitely
yeah,
talk about Man City asset, which one that we need to target. Okay, but for sure, I can see you already have 3 Man City asset. Of course, I'm not sure whether you're satisfied with these 3 players or not. We shall touch later on your transfer plan. But at least you have 2 more players to go. You have Kepa and Andreas, like I mentioned to Azmin before we go live. Uh, if
yeah,
Chelsea end up clean sheet, at least you got clean sheet for Kepa. If Fulham scored, it could be from Andreas because Mitrovic not going to play. So
yeah,
at least one of them return, and at least you had your 54 points. You raised up to 562K right now, but it could be more later. Okay. So
yeah.
I
We'll
go to
see.
my team. Okay, quickly I ran through. I got 53 points, but a small red arrow so far for 30,000, drop to 30,000. Still, okay. But I can see 3 overs captaining Mitrovic. Surprise, surprise. From, I think, is it now 10 million managers? I'm not sure how many, but in terms of statistic for Game Week 19, 6 million managers, which actually captaining Haaland, and only around 1 million captaining Mitrovic, which is
Oh,
we are in that statistic,
Wow.
to be fair.
yay!
Okay?
Minor
And
victory.
it's end up,
We
although
won.
Mitrovic got a yellow card, okay, he actually scored better points than Haaland at least. So he got 5 points. We at least can take a good note that we actually get the captain pick right this week. But yeah, I
No,
think
it should have been Shaw.
yeah, it could be
It
sure.
should have been sure.
But
I agree.
I think we're definitely going into the trap of captaining double game players. Okay, definitely. But to be
No,
fair,
it's,
in terms of captaining Haaland against Mitrovic in Game Week 19, Mitrovic won that better. I go to my team, Kepa, 2 points. We shall see how game against Fulham. Cancelo, like we mentioned, is a problem. He got only 1 point. Trippier is a monster. 8 points, right? Okay. And Shaw has been performing for me. I got him into my team in game week 18. He scored 9 points back then. And he got 50 points when I saw he scored in Man United game in 19. And now he's actually going into game week 20 in a really good form. And he's trending in terms of players or managers picking him up into his team is high right now. Salah 2 points. He only delivered in 17, yeah, but he blanked so far. I think maybe he could turn into a light blue player after this. Rashford 8 points, continue to be positive, okay. And just 1 point, Martinelli 3 points so far, okay. Mitrovic 10 points because he got 5 points from that game with a yellow card. Haaland 2 and Darwin continue to miss chances and chances and only 1 point. Thinking of it, I actually brought in Mitrovic and take out Martial. But now, if you're thinking about it again, Martial or Manchester United going to have double game week in 20. So that could be a false move, but we just don't know at that point, game week 20 announcement. But looks like Darwin might be on the way out anyway in game week 20. So we shall see after this. Let's go quickly on the game week 19 team of the week so far. Okay. Surprise, surprise. Okay. Mr. Harry Kane is actually the highest performer so far with 16 points, 2 goals and 1 assist in the game where Spurs win 4-0 against Crystal Palace. And he's in the right form, to be fair, coming to game week 20 double game week. Other players like Leno got 10 points, another game to go. Shaw 15 points. We already know the Shaw potential, but there's 2 Spurs assets in here if you want to consider for game week 20. Doherty with 14 points and Perisic with 10 points. Then we have Tim Ream, 9 points so far with Chelsea coming up. For Brighton asset, Solimash continue to perform. No Trossard in here. So he got 11 points. We can consider him when Brighton coming up with 2 games coming up. Casemiro, 10 points. You want to consider Manchester United asset. He continue to tick that box. Alex Chamberlain, who ever thought, 9 points for Liverpool asset. Okay, Bomo, 12 points. Okay, he's the star. Brentford without Tony, and then Ferguson, 11 points. He's actually the main striker right now for Brighton, and Harry Kane with 16 points. So Azmin, from this team of the week, what do you think? Is Harry Kane that something that really that we need to consider?
Can you hear me? Okay, so it makes me wonder how many people out there, how many managers out there who chose not to go with Darwin but had Harry Kane instead. I do wonder. Yeah, but because whoever, if they did, they would have just been jumping in ranks quite decently. But look, if the team of the week has Alex Ox scoring much better than Darwin, there's something wrong with Liverpool up there. So I don't want to go into that. But yeah, of note though is Brentford, who of course who whacked Liverpool, and without Ivan Toney, which is quite an achievement. Something definitely bears looking at. So in light of Ivan Toney, don't know what his current status is. Is he going to be suspended because of all this betting thing? We still don't know yet. Yeah, we're still waiting, but it looks like they can be without him at the moment. Well, at least when you're playing against teams like Liverpool, whose defense is all over the place. Anyway, 3 of Spurs in this whole team of the week. You got Doherty, Perisic, the two playing wingbacks, as well as Kane. So yeah, something to think about, and it ties in nicely with the fact that they now have a double game week turning up. Yeah.
All right. I go to Afos. How about Doherty and Perisic? Are you interested to actually consider them for upcoming week?
I'm not sure whether I would consider any of Spurs defend at the moment, but I'm really actually looking at Harry Kane, because I think I mentioned previously in one of the episodes that Harry Kane is still performing this season. It's just that he's overshadowed by Erling Haaland. That's all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So moving for game week 20, I think Harry Kane is the one to be considered, even though he is having a tough fixture. But yeah, I think he's the best Spurs asset to own at the moment, I think.
All right. I can concur with you. Kane is the second highest scorer so far behind Haaland. Haaland with 144 points and Kane 127 points. So we really need to consider, but we talk about that in the next topic. We jump straight to double game week announcement for game week 20. As we all know, Man City and Spurs are going to have double game week as long they do not play FA Cup replay in from the third round match, and they already confirmed because both qualified to the fourth round. But now the recent announcement is, I think like 2-3 days back, Manchester United and Palace going to play twice also in game week 20. So which really need for us our quick reaction ataupun this one, okay, on how this double game week 20 pan out. Okay, Crystal Palace gonna face Chelsea away and then Manchester United at home. Okay, Chelsea not so tough anymore right now, but Manchester is definitely a tough match. Man United, on the other hand, face Man City at home, the first match, and then Palace away. So I think that's something that we can consider. Man City, on the other hand, regardless of the matches, they play twice. Manchester United away and Spurs at home. And Spurs are going to face two really tough match I can consider, If not, they are the top two teams right now. Arsenal at home and Man City away. So that's the caveat for Spurs as well. So I go to Afos first. The reaction for this double game week 20 announcement, especially the Manchester United and Palace.
Yeah. Looking at these 4 teams, I think the one that excites me, or I think excites most people, is the Man City, because we know Man City, most of the teams will have a triple up their assets despite of their fixtures anyway. And then the next one is Manchester United, because of the recent form, they are quite performing, and then Rashford keep on scoring every games. Yeah, although the first game is against City, is going to be a rematch for Manchester Derby. They lost 6-3, I think, from the first game.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but even having said that, City is still is a tough opponent. I highly doubt that Manchester United can perform this game, but we're betting on the second game against Crystal Palace. That's where I think Manchester United assets could really shines in that game.
Okay, all right. I go to Azmin. Do you believe Man City and Manchester United is the top team that we should target for game week 20?
I don't know. It's might turn out to be interesting because technically you've got two informed teams playing against each other. If you saw, was it yesterday, the Pep saying that he has a ridiculous plan for Manchester United. I don't know what that means. It's probably going to cost us our FPL points, whatever happens there. Yeah. But anyway, coming back. So because just now you asked Afas his reaction, right, to the double game week announcements. I'll tell you what my reaction was. It was sheer panic. And the reason that I'm panicking is because I suddenly find myself with a double game week keeper in Gueta.
Okay.
Not the keeper I would have wanted to go, especially. I mean, let's face it, Crystal Palace since after World Cup they've been horrible, and we don't know
Yeah.
why. And I picked them simply because of on the basis of Vieira's solidity in defense. That they'd be quite solid in that sense, and I don't know what's happened over there, and they're just. I don't know if I want to take another hit just to replace the keeper, but yeah. It's a bit of a problem for me, and of course, do any of us have any Spurs players at the moment? No, right?
No.
So we're looking, but so obviously Harry Kane's the key person that we wanna see if we need to bring him in, which is it's just that the route that everyone takes looks like it could be different.
Okay, all right. Let's jump straight to the key players to target for game week 20. We focus specifically for these four teams: Man City, Manchester United, Spurs, and Palace. We already know the matches that they're going to play. Okay, and we know Spurs have the toughest matches, the two toughest matches possibly that they can have: Arsenal and Man City. And for Man City, I feel everyone going to have them. Most probably, three assets that people are going to prioritize. And players to target, most definitely Haaland, I think KDB, or maybe Mahrez also can be into the consideration right now because of his form. Has been performing in all competition right now. Okay, and Manchester United, the second, I think that we should prioritize Rashford definitely because of his recent form. The pass after FPL returns, he actually returned 3 attacking returns so far in 17, 18, and 19. We have Shaw here, definitely because Manchester United are keeping tight at the back right now. Shaw 9 points and 15 points. That's what I put here. Maybe Martial or maybe the other Manchester United set we can discuss later. Spurs, I just put here, even though the toughest feature, because I think Palace, to be fair, has been awful so far. Okay, so Kane could be the first on the sheet, but the rest I'm not too sure. I just put there Son, Perisic, it could be Doherty there. And then Palace, if we want to consider. I think Zaha, Eze, and Olise, only that we can put into our thinking. So I go to Azmin first. Do you believe that we need to have 3 Man City assets?
Okay, so because the problem with Manchester City is they're playing quite a few matches. So they played the FA Cup against Chelsea, the 4-0, and of course the 1-0. But they also have a match tomorrow night, the Carabao Cup quarterfinals. So we really need to monitor that and see what happens there. But that's why the rotation challenge will always be there, and especially in the Carabao Cup they're already towards the ending stage. So you would think that they're still gonna see how strong of a team they can pull and not play really total reserves. And let's face it. But then let's face it, Manchester City's reserve team is effectively some other team's first team can be in terms of quality. So that's why that's something, but we need to be careful with that. Spurs are there, but yeah, I mean, if I'm not sure what the recent update on Kulusevski was, because I think he needs to be around for Kane to be better, especially here. So I don't know. Apparently he was training, but he was doing it individually. So we don't know he'll make it for this Sunday. Much. It's still anyone's guess.
Okay, yeah, I go to Afos first. Second, as we already touched on Man City, how about specific on Manchester United asset, Afos? Do you feel that we also need to have 3 assets from that team?
Okay, for looking at these four teams that have double games in game week 20, yeah, the top two the top two, Manchester City and Manchester United, are the ones that I think most people are looking at to have a triple assets from each of these clubs, right? And then maybe one one or two from Tottenham, Spurs. That I don't think that any would want any asset from Crystal Palace, because I think that's the team that they're targeting to get the most points, especially from Manchester United. From in terms of place to target, for Manchester City, is that I think, in my opinion, that Haaland, KDB, Mahrez, I'm not sure whether he's nailed or not. Yeah, any player from City is not nailed except for Edison. But the thing that people, I think most people feel that the one secured is the Haaland, KDB, and Edison, the three that would, yeah, would be pretty safe pick, or maybe John Stones, because Cancelo is being experimenting up front at the right wing side. So Stones looking at Neil at the moment at uh, Premier League. And then for Manchester United, of course, the first two, Rashford and Shaw, after World Cup break, these two has been outstanding. They're still continuing his performance from World Cup. But Marshall is kind of disappointing at the moment, and some queried that he might not play both games because of his performance. Not sure. And then the third pick,
Afos, can I safely say Rashford is on penalty right now? Can I see that?
yeah,
Because he took a
I would say,
penalty, right?
yeah, he took the penalty just now. No, one of the games. Yeah, it's either Rashford or Bruno Fernandes. So for the third slot, still subjective, but some suggested that if you have the funds, you get Bruno, or otherwise you get Ericsson. Ericsson has been outstanding also. So
Okay.
yeah, those are the
Can I
three.
just share a bit? Manchester United did won, is it 3-0 in AFL against Charlton?
Yeah,
Rashford scored twice, and
yeah,
Anthony scored one, and he scored
what?
before this. So maybe Anthony can also be in the consideration, but he's actually in midfield, and we already know midfield is like a scarce resources right now. Everyone that performing is
Yeah,
actually in midfield.
yeah. Midfield is a tough spot. Just that the forward selection, especially if Marshall is not performing, they will need to take a look at other alternatives.
Okay, I go to Azmin quickly back. Azmin, if managers need to prioritize, I know everyone, most like 80% plus managers already have Haaland. If you don't have Haaland, I'm not sure. Even Azmin also believe that Haaland need to be in your team. Okay, but who the next one that we need to prioritize? If say that we are trying to save transfer, not to like luxury, take hits, but you need to prioritize. Who the second or maybe third that you need to consider after Haaland for this game with 20, Azmin? What do you think?
Okay. Okay, on a personal note, because I'm one of those who don't have Rashford, but it looks like Rashford is the go-to player for this one. Because if you look at all the matches, about City play United and Spurs, looks tough. Spurs play Arsenal and City, that looks tough, and Palace are bad anyway. But Manchester United, okay, fine. Their first match is against City, but the second match is against Palace, which at the moment looks like a gimme, easy point special right now. So definitely Rashford needs to be prioritized, and I would say prioritize him over Kane. Okay, so let's not forget with Spurs. I know there's a lot of hoo-ha on picking up Harry Kane, but he functions better if Kulusevski is around, and if Kulusevski is not around, then you have to wonder. Spurs did win 4-0 last game week, but that was against Crystal Palace. so so that's something that we need to consider. And let's not forget, not three matches ago, Spurs did lose 2-0 against Aston Villa.
Yep.
So that's definitely some inconsistency. And Kulusevski wasn't playing that one; he was already injured by then. So that's something that we definitely need to think about. So for me, Rashford is your. If you don't already have Rashford, then Rashford it's almost a must pick.
Okay, so I ask Azmin, maybe we just put a ranking 1, 2, 3. If you need to bring them in, who the first, second, and third that we should consider? You already mentioned Rashford first. Who second? Do you think?
Sure.
Sure. And the third one?
Yeah. Third one's a tough one. I might go for Zaha simply because they play Chelsea.
Okay. I go to Afos. What your ranking 1, 2, 3? Who are you going to bring in terms of ranking? First, do you believe if you don't have Rashford, you need to bring Rashford in?
Yeah. My
In
list
terms of
almost same like us.
potential for selection right now, Rashford is already on 40% selection by manager. So you're already coming up.
Yeah, my list is almost the same like Azmin. First Rashford, second Shaw, but the third one I think Kane.
Okay. All right. So you believe Shaw need to be in before Kane?
Yep, I do so.
Okay.
Looking
All
at
right.
looking at his previous couple of games performance, I think
Okay.
he's the one that need to be
How about I
prioritized.
put this into conversation? KDB, where you will be ranked?
KDB is a tough one because looking at his performance, you would want him to be on your team, but the result is not there. So it's slightly a bit dilemma over there.
Yeah.
Uh,
I totally agree, Alpha. So because the problem with KDB is that one the biggest attraction to having KDB is the fact that he seems to be the midfielder whose starting spot is secure. But unfortunately, that's not translating into points at the moment. And I think if I'm just looking now at the history, in the past 4 matches, 2-2-1-1, which is quite pathetic for his price and considering he's Manchester City. So you got to go back and see, is he just being the assist to the assister? That cross to Haaland goal doesn't seem to be happening of late. Yeah, and at the same time, you look at the matches, the last 4 matches, which is Brentford, Leeds, Everton, and Chelsea. These are not tough sides in terms of the defense. Yeah, but it does seem like KDB is sitting back and letting others do the work.
exactly.
So that is the concern. And but even the scoreline is not that great either. 1-2, 1-3. I thought Leeds they would be trashing, but it was just a 3-1. Everton drew 1-1. Chelsea they won 1-0. So the other argument is the fact that are City just conserving their energy given the fact that they have so many games ahead, and as a result we're not seeing that.
I would think so.
Okay. So both of you agreed that Kane should come first before KDB?
Yes.
Yeah, at the moment, yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. We already deliberate on the key players to target. Now let's jump to the poll on how managers are approaching double game week 20 so far. I actually snapshot this from Fantasy Football Scout, where the first question, I think this maybe we can discuss because people are thinking whether to use triple captainship in this double game week 20, especially on Haaland, that we know Man City gonna play their first 11 so-called with these two tough team. Okay, so 72% says it's not time to activate triple captainship for this week, but 24% agreed that you should do it and on Haaland this week, 24%. On how many doublers that we should have this game week, okay, when we consider Man City, Manchester United, Spurs and Palace as set, 29 or 30% managers mentioned that they were going to have 5 players in this game week, and 20 lebih kurang 30%, 5 to 6 players that you need to be in or they are planning to have in for this double game week 20. And then how are you going to handle the transfer for double game week 20? Are you going to use only free transfer, or how many hits that you're going to have? 49% or 50% managers mentioned they are going to use only their free transfer. It could be one, it could be two for this game week. But 30% managers believe that taking a hit this week is okay. And 6% mentioned they're going to have like negative 8 hits or even wildcarding chip for this game week 20. So I go to Azmin first. What is your first reaction to this poll, so-called?
Well, the triple captainship bit is really surprising. I mean, what evidence are we on right now? And the yes on Haaland, I think they're nuts. Uh, they're playing against two. Yeah. I mean, because let's face it, coming eighth, the fact that City have a lot of matches going on at the moment, and Julian Alvarez is really fighting his way to get more minutes. So we don't know how Pep is going to manage that. It is Pep after all. Yeah, we all think that Haaland is untouchable, but if he needs to manage, if he's worried if there might be issues, then and Alvarez looks like he's definitely capable of stepping up. Yeah, so for me, it's not the right time. Plus, look, I know we're all optimistic, but it's not Manchester City against Forest and Villa. It's against United and Spurs. So they're the big teams per se. Sure, their defense is not perfect, but they are United is in form. Let's face it, they're in form. Spurs are a bit like wobbly. They're up and down. Yeah, but they're still up there. They're not exactly neither of them are bottom half teams at the moment.
Yeah.
So no way. Sorry, people out there.
Okay. Afos, what do you think about the rest? How many doublers that we should have at least for this double game week 20?
Yeah, I agree with the poll. Five and six is the right one. It's either you have at the moment, pretty much everyone have triple Man City and maybe double United, because you hardly think that who to pick for the third Manchester United asset just to have six double game week players. So five and six is the right number for Manchester United, for City and United. And if many people having a hard time to triple up United, then the other one goes to Harry Kane, just to have six players for double game week 20.
So if you want this idea like 5-6 players, would you be willing to take for -4, -8 hits?
I would consider -4 for double game week, taking into consideration that particular player is for sure to start in both games.
Okay.
Like for example, we are concerning about Cancelo, whether or not he'll going to start or he'll play a full game. So I might take a hit to replace him with another double game week player, or maybe another City defenders that most likely to play both games full.
Okay. So Azmin, what I think you're the more aggressive managers here. Okay. Would you go for -8 this week?
I might. I'm not going to deny that, because if I do go for Harry Kane, I'll definitely need to do 2 transfers, which will be -4, and then I'm because if I feel desperate enough, I might need to also take another hit to change my keeper. So yeah, to minimize that risk. Unfortunately, I'm one of those who no longer have 3 City players because I sold Foden for Sterling. Had a lot of good that did, So yeah, I mean, but in answer to that, how many doubles question, I would say 6 would be the best.
Okay,
Yeah,
I show you a comment from Brian. Be a man, do the right thing. So what is the right thing, Azmin?
Obviously, him being a Chelsea fan obviously means sell Sterling. I have a yeah. I mean, I need to fix my team up as well. Yeah, on the long run. So
Right,
yeah,
okay.
definitely
Brian,
minus hit.
don't worry. Azmin is definitely the man. It's just whether he will take one hit or two hits. That's what's gonna happen this week. Okay. All right. I think we jump to the next topic, which is we jump straight to game week 20. Definitely, we already know four teams are going to double, but what's the rest game week 20 looks like? We will have an early deadline again for this game week 20, Friday night deadline, where Villa will meet up Leeds United at 4 a.m. on Friday night. And then we will definitely have early kickoff on Saturday. What else that we're going to offer? Manchester Derby. United will face Man City on the early kickoff Saturday. Following up with 11 p.m. matches, four matches, Brighton versus Liverpool, Everton versus Southampton, Forest and Leicester desperate for points. They will meet each other. And Wolves are going to host West Ham, who they are really at the bottom right now. They really also need points. And then at 1:30 a.m. on Saturday night, Brentford and Bournemouth will face each other. It's definitely a London derby match. And then uh, inconsistent Chelsea starts off Sunday match at 10 p.m. against Palace, following up with the informed Newcastle versus Fulham. And then on Sunday, we'll end up with London Derby Spurs versus Arsenal. And then we're going to have the double game week fixture for Palace and MU and Man City versus Spurs. So I go to first Azmin from this game week 20 fixture, besides the double game week, what else that highlighted to you?
So it's a huge question. So we're going against looking at the dire sides. Everton versus Southampton, who are looking really bad in the league. However, Southampton, as bad as they were, they still managed to win against Palace in the FA Cup.
FA Cup.
Yeah, so but at this, so looking at Palace, Chelsea, Crystal Palace, but Chelsea aren't great either. So, and those of us who still may have Mount will of course want to keep them. But the side to look at, I mean, if you're looking at a single, that Brentford versus Bournemouth match could look really tasty. Bournemouth seem to have forgotten how to play football totally, and Ivan Toney's back as well, but of course Brentford should be winning without him. So, but that Brentford could really run over Bournemouth.
Yep,
Um,
yep. I agree.
and but another point I want to make is, but which is interesting, which is Forest versus Leicester. Forest have a Carabao Cup quarterfinal tonight. Yeah, well, early
Is it?
tomorrow morning. Yeah, and Leicester just won theirs last night. So, and now both of them will end up playing each other. Leicester lost. Sorry, Leicester lost against Newcastle, 2-0. And Forest will play Wolves tomorrow night. Tomorrow morning. Sorry, 3:45. Yeah. So that's not much. That really leaves not much time for Forest to recover. But then Leicester aren't great either. So, but
Yep,
you would
yep.
think that Leicester could whack Forest.
Okay. All right. So I go to Alphonse. Just touch a bit on the Manchester derby match. Definitely, Manchester United on the wrong side last time, 6-3 loss against City. But now I can say Manchester United on the right form against City. What's the expectation for this game?
Expectation. Looking at the team, the overall performance. City still on a different level uh, against Manchester United. You know, this is of course based on last game that they won 6-3, and then of course from the recent performance, Manchester United won and have a clean sheet 3 or 4 games now, if I'm not mistaken. But you can't hardly expect that to happen against City. You know, I would hope that, I would hope that as an United fan that they win against Chelsea, but um, to have a really nice open game from both teams, I think is an exciting game to watch. But I will still expect City. I hope United to win, but I expect City to win this game.
Okay, I tell you what. Okay, before the announcement of Gameweek 20 double, I was thinking whether to play Shaw against City, but now since Manchester United have double, they already make my decision easier. Because they play twice, I'm gonna play Shaw. But before this, I'm not too sure. Okay, but thanks for the
Single
Gameweek
match.
20 announcement. All right. So I think we go next before our okay. The captain pick. I know everyone gonna pick Haaland. The polls already say 70% says go for Haaland. Even just now, I think 20% or 30% manager did mention they're gonna triple captain Haaland anyway for this week. That the second option is Rashford at 11.9%, and then Kane at 5%. So I just put here the potential captain. If you don't want to consider Haaland, can Kane and Rashford actually can be a consideration? I think I go to Azmin first, although he might not like this question. Okay, so what do you think, man?
Why won't I not like this question? Um, I'll be frank. You know, even though I don't have him, but I think Rashford might be the better pick here, and he's clearly
Yep.
a man on a mission, and obviously he's a midfielder. His second match is against Palace, so yeah, and Haaland hasn't been as prolific in the past few matches. Yeah, that's why Keane is suddenly closing the gap. Yeah, so I'm leaning towards Rashford. Are we clear here?
Interesting answer for Azmin. I like that. Whether that will put into the paper is another thing. I go to Afos. Do you agree with Azmin?
Yeah, I'll agree. This is of course only because of the second game, United versus Crystal Palace, that we hope that Rashford gonna have double-digit points. Uh, yeah, I have on paper I would prefer Rashford, but I somehow have a feeling that I would want to captain KDB instead.
Whew, that's really.
Hmm.
Azmin know the feeling already on the KDB
It's
captain. Okay, he can tell on that.
it's more of a gut feeling, you know. There's
Hmm.
no justification or
But
no reasoning behind it. But
I
I
have no
don't know.
doubt that KDB, if they say he will perform, it could be this week.
You'd expect him to be the driving force in these kind of matches,
Yeah,
right? So
yes, yeah.
Okay,
It's more
all
of a
right,
gut
fair
feeling for
enough.
KDB. Yeah.
Both of you agree Rashford should be the concern this week, but most probably Haaland will be our captain. We shall see when the deadline will be. Okay, so before we go on our transfer plan, okay, I got the fixture ticker first, so give you a glimpse before you decide how you're gonna team looks like. This is the fixture ticker for the next 6 matches. I can safely say Man City is on the top because they have 2 double game week coming up, the 20 and the 23. So Man City is no surprise. If you want to invest, I think this is the time now. If you want to take a hit or you want to bring 3 City asset, I think this is the time. The second one is Arsenal, okay. But after maybe Spurs matches and Manchester, they will ease up before the double game week 23. They could be having another double game week announcement in 21 or 22 for Arsenal. We are just not sure, but that thing can happen. Manchester United on the third since they already have double game week right now, they already moved the ticker up to third right now. Okay, and then just go to the bottom three: Everton, Villa, and Wolves. They are facing Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal even inside there. So that's why they are bottom. I go to Azmin. How about this fixture ticker? Do you agree with the Man City ticker is up there? They are the one that we need to look at.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, one thing, of course, they all have. I mean, if you look at City, Arsenal, and United, they all have the advantage of having extra matches as well. But at the end of the day, when you think about it, City, Arsenal, and Manchester United are also the form teams. They're the ones who are riding at the top of the table at the moment. So yeah, so it does make sense. I just want to point out that because Spurs and Crystal Palace also have an extra match. Of course, Crystal Palace being the last there for obvious reasons. But interestingly, you got Leeds United there as the fourth. So they got some quite decent matches. Of course, the problem is you can't find players who you can trust. And same with Southampton as well. They're up there, but I wouldn't touch Southampton
There's no focus player from this both teams.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, of course, we can wonder about James Ward-Prowse doing a blockbuster free kick, or once in a while, but it's just not secure enough for us to consider it.
Okay. Yep. All right. So I go to Afos. Talking about Spurs double game week, they have Arsenal and Man City, but you can look at that if you want to think of bringing in Kane. They're going to face Man City in 20 and 22. So that's another thing that you need to consider. On top of that, if I'm correct, Kane on 4 yellow cards, and if he was awarded with a yellow card in Arsenal game, he will be suspended for Man City.
Yep. Agree. That's what happened to Mitrovic.
Okay.
Okay. So
that's the same history, kind of different player.
By the way, how annoying was that Mitrovic yellow card? So
yeah, exactly. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
I think referee already targeted him, and then when he got the chance, yes, you got the yellow. All right. Okay, I think that's the fixture ticker. We ran through the transfer plan. I'll go to Azmin first. This is your team. I can see there at least 3 double game week fixture, although the one thing that you are afraid of is Guita. Okay, so maybe you walk through your team.
So, oopsie, check out where my captaincy is on. KDB, not Haaland. So yeah. I mean, to be fair, yeah, I know. In the priority transfers, where do you I put KDB at the back. But yeah, that just like what Afos is still that gut feel is there. But the thing is, I am looking at bringing in Rashford. So if Rashford does come in, then yeah, he's not likely to. Then Rashford has a good chance of being captain. I just have to get past that price tag bias and go there. So now, if I choose not to bring in Kane, then Sterling would go for Rashford. That would be.
Okay. I think that's the logic move. Yep.
Yeah. So then it'll be the case of, can I survive without Kane, and can I survive without a third City player? And I think I can. So if I choose not to go, okay, let's say if I go with Kane, then I'll have to I can sell Mitrovic for Kane and sell Sterling for a cheapie, which will I bench, and then
you're going to change to Rashford and then upgrade Mitrovic to Kane, right?
No, I can't do that. Not enough funds for that.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's either I go for the Rashford route or the Kane route. So I can't do both. Yeah.
So I guess since you already discussed just now, Rashford is the number one that you need to bring in.
Yeah. So Rashford for Sterling, and I the thing is, in terms of who I'm going to field, will be probably Andreas goes back to the bench.
Yeah.
And I think Robertson will come up back into the defense. Liverpool will have Gakpo around, so will be interesting to see what difference he can make. He can help Darwin as well. So which means that I might keep. That means, but it does mean that I might keep Darwin. And
All right.
feel
So
the
you might
pain.
not might not take any hit and just bring in Rashford.
Uh, Not, but that Guaita, I got to do something about.
Azmin,
It's just
can
too. Yeah, I might bring in De Gea. I will have money for it. Maybe I'll bring in De Gea. I
can
will see. We'll see. I don't know.
can you afford to do Sterling and Darwin for Kane and Rashford?
I think so. If he
Oh,
wants, but you need to sacrifice Darwin.
oh.
What
Do
would you
you
want to
want
do that
to?
lah?
Yeah, it's no. Okay, to be fair, Darwin's not untouchable, lah. It's not. It's not. It's really trying to go
Mhm.
destroy myself.
If you're willing to do that, I think that could be a wise move. Or the
Okay.
other one is don't think about Guita. Just bring in Watt and play against Forest, and then you bring in another asset, maybe a Man City defender if you trust him, or yeah, or Darwin to
Okay.
Kane.
Yeah, I'm just looking. Yeah, I can't get Rashford. Oh, I can. I'm point one. I can get Rashford and Kane for Sterling and Darwin. I can
Darwin.
do that.
Yep. But you need to be quick, right? Because
Thanks,
Rashford are
Interesting,
Alfonso.
right?
going in price, going up in
Do you think it's
price.
gonna
So
go up already? Shoot. Okay.
I, okay, if you do not know, Rashford is the most transferred in player for this week.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll just transfer him right now.
You do it right now.
No,
If you if
because
you
Sterling might drop as well.
yeah, so you're
I
short
see.
by 0.1, right? So you
Yeah.
are really in delicate situation, if I can tell you that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Kane is looking at to
Okay.
rise tomorrow.
But I think Azmin, you still have time, but the price part, I'm not too sure. Okay.
Okay. All right. I'll do
Okay.
Rashford first and figure out the
Okay.
rest later.
We go to Afos. Your team is here. You have on paper right now 5 double gimmick players.
Yep. Okay, so at the moment, I still don't have a really fixed move on who to transfer out and who to transfer in. But the thing that we're having a dilemma is that the Cancelo issue that we need to address. He's having City has been two double games in game week 20, but at the moment he's not looking nail at
Yeah.
starting. So that's the dilemma. You waste. It's like you're wasting your one transfer from a City player who play double to another City player. So that's kind of disappointing to me.
Azmin,
It must be pretty frustrating for Cancelo because you remember during the World Cup, at first he started and then he started getting benched.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
he thought he'd come back into the league to start again, and suddenly, oh nope, he's still being benched again. This poor guy.
Yeah, I know.
maybe Afos can give another go. See how Man City match in EFL. Maybe.
Mm. Yeah, let's see tonight. Tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, tonight once the results out, City against Southampton.
Yeah.
Yeah, after that, yeah, I'll make my move either tomorrow
So
morning
what
or
is your thinking right now?
my thinking. I would think I don't want to take because I only have one free transfer. I would consider to take a hit -4. I don't consider to have to take -8. At the moment, replacing Cancelo with Stones.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only one. If I were to save one transfer, another one. If I were to take a hit, maybe I drop Salah for somebody else.
Somebody else, which
Or
is Manchester United midfielder.
uh, it's I don't know.
For
Manchester
sure, you
United
want to
is,
bring a double game players, right?
yeah, for sure. It's either Bruno Fernandes or Son. I'm not too sure.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, I think there's and about some people are not thinking of that, but you could have that luxury, but
So no
you
Kane
won't
for
have
you.
no Kane for you.
I, yeah, I would want Kane, but I don't think -8
Yeah,
is a good move.
yeah. No, no,
Okay,
no. Yeah.
all right. If I can put into context, if you want to take a hit for Manchester asset, it could be this week because along the line you're going to pay off when double game week 23 for Man
Yeah,
City asset. As long you know which one to target.
yeah.
That's what I feel lah. If you're thinking about his, I think I just checked FPL Harry when I saw his is actually thinking -8 to take this week to properly align his team for the future, considering about Cancelo, considering about Kane. So that's another. Harry is actually in 10k place right now, so he actually willing to take that kind of hits moving forward. So if I can share on that, but I'm not sure whether we want to take. Okay, so how about Gabriel? I just wanna ask that question. Gabriel in for Andreas, or you keep Andreas for this game?
I think I'll play Gabriel over Andreas for this
Okay,
game.
all right. Okay, fair. We shall see your final team for this week. For my team, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 double
Four.
game players. Okay. What I'm missing here, KDB, Kane. I think that's obvious one. I already have Rashford and Shaw, which the traffic right now. I have Cancelo to deal with. I have Haaland. So I think my priority is not Cancelo for now. Okay. I think I need to bring in City asset, and it should be KDB. If I want to do that, Salah is the one that I'm going to take out to give him room and give money to Darwin for me to upgrade to Kane and take a -4. That is my thinking right now. The problem is whether I really want to invest in Kane because Kane on your 4 yellow cards and have tough fixture, and then he's going to face Man City again in 22, I suppose. Just now we already mentioned.
Yeah,
So that's the thing that I want. Am I my patient already thin on Darwin? Maybe yes. Should I give Darwin more opportunity? Could be yes also. With Gapo already coming in. But I'm not too sure on that. But most probably KDB will be out. If I want to take out Cancelo, I won't make Kane move and move Cancelo to Stones. To be fair, Stones, if I see the statistic for the past 6 Premier League matches, he starts all that 6. So I think he's more the secure in terms of defense for Man City. The rest, I think, will stay the same. I will not deal about Patterson injury right now, and I will play this team. Anyone want to comment?
Okay, so yeah, I guess that the case of for Darwin on whether or not Gakpo can change the fortunes. That's pretty much it. That's what it's about. We were talking about the Kane for yellow cards. Okay, here's something to make it even.
Oh,
It's just the fact that Spurs play 2 matches, and the first one is the North London derby, which could get very, very nice and hot and spicy. So that's the risk, and
I think he scored in every derby, so from the second.
oh, is
there
it?
you go.
Okay.
So you can do a Mitrovic, score goal and get a cut at the same time. So but I mean, but you have to admit that is the risk. I mean, we were willing to face it with Mitrovic.
Yeah.
So we might, so I don't think it's an issue if we still face it with Spurs. And you say because it's a London derby, and as you mentioned, Kane scores in that one anyway. But will he risk wanting to be missed out of the City? Remember, City was a team that there was once he thought he might go to City.
Okay. Thank you for that feedback. We shall go through again on our deadline stream. This is the team plan so far. I think we already come to our live stream, end of live stream, but we take question. There is question.
Oh, there
Okay.
is? Okay, cool. Let's
Okay.
take a look.
Simon Abdi, thank you for the question. Do you sell Mason Mount, who has been frustrating also, for Mares? So I go to Azmin. Would you consider that?
Well, firstly, you have to find out whether he'll play tomorrow night first, obviously. But at the end of the day, Chelsea play Palace. That could be really a good source of points. So, and Mahrez at the end of the day, City, it's two tough matches, United against Spurs, and it's Pep's rotation seems to be in full effect at the moment. So, is Mahrez that secure? I'm not so sure. Is Mount secure? I'm pretty sure Mount is secure. Yeah,
Okay.
Mount one match might be enough against two of City's matches, but we need to see some evidence of a Chelsea improvement if you don't want to sell Mount. Otherwise, if Chelsea look crap again against Fulham, then you might as well go for Mahrez and hope that he scores.
All right. Next question for Afos. Should we still keep Salah? This question continue to pop up. Afos?
If it is not because of double game week, I will still keep Salah. Team Liverpool against Brighton previously is an open game. If I'm not mistaken, they did three 3-3 result. So
I'm sorry, as a
but
Liverpool fan, it's just so frustrating. But it's not. I can't argue that it's so true. It could really well happen again.
yeah, but
All right.
the thing is that Liverpool have a good fixtures run at the moment, but somehow they as a team did not function as they did compared to previous seasons. But Salah still somehow in one game, every other game still can get points. Because we are hoping that Salah to score double digits in any of those games. But because of the double game week, we would need to replace the Salah with maybe KDB or other alternatives that to have to optimize and to get more points for game week 20 and onwards.
Okay. Short answer, yes. We need to change Salah and get the double game
Yeah.
players. Next question, I go to Azmin. Okay. Zamzuri asked again, what about Cancelo? What should we do about him? I know you don't have Cancelo, Azmin. What? Maybe your answer will be sell Cancelo, but I'm not too sure. You're on mute, is it?
Yeah, I was on mute. Sorry. So frankly speaking, is really if you might as well keep Cancelo for this week if you already have him personally, because I just find it hard to believe that he won't start at least one game. And if he starts as one game and comes as a sub, for me that's decent enough. And against matches, it could very well be a 0-0. It could happen like the Arsenal Newcastle match. And use your other transfer elsewhere to bring in more double gamers, rather than worry about Cancelo after following weeks,
Okay.
not this week.
All right. Go to the next one from Brian. This is not a question, but he already mentioned Dalot is back in the mix. I think he played last game or maybe in the FA Cup. I go to Afos. If you do not have Shaw, could Dalot be someone to consider?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. If you don't, yeah, I would agree to that. If you don't have Shaw, Dalo is the one that you need to look into, especially if you like example chasing the ranks and try to get the optimum points. Yeah, I agree. If you don't have Shaw, then if you want to have another one United at the back, Dalo is the one to go at the moment.
Okay, but
Okay, alright.
just a
Thank
note
you
on
all.
wait, Hafiz, just guys, just a note on Dalot, because remember he was subbed off early in the last match, so just need to monitor his injury status.
Yeah.
Alright. Fair. Thank you all for the question. Okay, we are come to the end of the stream. Let me remind you, Game Week 20 deadline will be on Friday night at 2:30 a.m. because early kickoff at 4 a.m. I think Z League's game. Okay, all right. Before we
Yep.
go, would like to request from our viewers, if you like our stream, please hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube FPL Jedi channel, and you will receive the early notification whenever we are live. Okay, so I go to Azmin first. Your last word.
All the best. Just remember there are still matches involving Premier League teams, so wait and see for that. Yeah, and injury statuses are more important than ever because there's so many games.
All right, Apos, your last word.
Yeah. Same. All the best and enjoy the double game week 20.
Hopefully, it's not a fake double game
All
week.
right. All right. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you to all
right.
viewers for tuning to our live stream. Inshallah, we will be back in Game Week 20 deadline stream early in Friday night. Until then, stay safe and see you guys again. Take care. Bye bye.
All right.